Hi everybody. It's time for that exploring I promised. Even if it is a little bit rainy, I'm not going to let that stop me. I've got places to go and things to see. And I don't even know what they are yet. But we can start over here. I do know what sort of things I'm looking for, since I wrote it down on my clipboard before I left. Most of all, I want oil. But any chromatograph burrows that I can find, or chromatograph notes would be quite welcome as well. And there's a chromatograph burrow right there. And oh good, I did remember a fence and a lead. So you stay put, Stalk. I've got things to learn. Definitely interesting things in here. Alright, the casting room note I needed. That is really good news. Oh, the pylon compass. I need that. Well, it looks like this is going to be a short trip out, because I am going to have to go back just so I can comprehend all this stuff that I've got. I would love to go and check out this temple, but I've already got more stuff on me than I can carry. Alright, so we're going to head home and check out all this stuff I got. Alright, I've been going through my well-earned gains in the chromic lexicon, and I have found quite a lot, from pretty flowers to tripwires to lumen turrets. And yes, I'll be building some of those around the tree. I have also found information on the casting room, which is one of the big things that has been stopping me from making progress in Chromatograph. So I'll be working on that in a future episode. But the prize I was really hoping for, and which I have found, is this pylon compass. And this tells me where all of the closest crystal shrines are of particular colors. And I am missing one color before I have collected them all. This one right here, 400 meters away. So, that's the direction in which I'm going to be exploring. Alright, so to make the decision, the next one of these guys to make a noise is the one we're taking. So who wants to take me out? Quick, before people get bored. Pounce it is. And I pounced, did you see it? Alright, and that's the way we're going. And there is our final color. And there's our 16 colors. Zambaru. So now that we've done all that, I figure we'll just keep going in this southeast direction and see if we can find ourselves some oil wells. And up ahead looks like a traditional Thaumcraft magical forest, which should have those mana beans that I wanted to pick up. Unfortunately, the lag of world gen seems to be slowing things down quite a lot. Not really a whole lot I can do about it, though. But there's a mana bean. And even though one is all I need, I'll pick up a few more. Well, I've been hunting around for a while. This is all the oil I've found so far. And as you can see, I'm a fair way away from home. I've also found a little bit over here, but not very much. Still, if I found it right away, it wouldn't make much of an episode, would it? And we've got some ocean over here. Only problem with exploring that is I would need a boat. Still, Pounce gets me across quite a lot of water. He goes a pretty good distance. And I think that I have finally spotted what I'm looking for. Oh, hello. Alright, so we're going to tie down the bird, make a boat, of course. Now that I've found oil, I'm going to have to find a way to ship it back home. And since I didn't put ender storage in here, we can't just simply move it through ender tanks. I could move it with enhanced portals, and that probably would be the easiest way, but not the coolest. I'd like to move it by rail. But that would take a lot of rail. I think I probably will use portals. Oh, and on the way back, I found another one. I wonder if it's possible that I might find even more. It's time to put Pounce back into his home. It's time to tie Pounce to a post in the house and then work on gathering enough power to put Pounce home. Come back here. And it's time for me to put together some portal stuff. Alright, so I've done a bit of putting things together. And I have attached a fluid transportation module to this portal. And I've also built the portal. So I've got my portal stuff pretty much ready to go. And I am basically going to set up a pump to just put it directly into a fluid transportation module on the portal on the other end. And just keep this thing open. And I don't think that the energy usage will be too great. If it is, I'll have a good excuse to build a railroad. Of course, I'm also going to have to come up with energy to power the portal in the first place. And for that, we're going to use some blood. The lava crystal from Blood Magic. It is burning up some life essence, but I have 1,000,000 life points to start with. So that should be enough to get it good and hot while I head over to the other end. And let's see, my world anchor is empty. So we'll have to make sure that this is fully charged before we leave. And that way it should still keep the power in it when the chunk unloads. And when I reactivate it, or rather when I activate the portal, it should also load the chunk here. Well, I actually had to step away from my recording computer for a few days while I ordered new fans for the case. You can probably hear a difference in the noise because it was getting so noisy before that I could not even cut it out using Audacity. But I was able to play on this for a while on my non-recording rig, so I got a fair amount done. In fact, I pulled out so much oil from the ground that I had to expand my tank. Most of these hold 1,700 buckets. This one holds almost 5,000. I've also managed to set up power services through the logistics pipes, which means one less set of pipes that I need to run. And I have set up the refinery where I'm already making fuel. Although currently the power is coming from a lava crystal, or actually leftover heat from a lava crystal. I also had some mishaps on the other side of this. And yes, I still haven't gotten all of the oil out of here. But I have learned a few things. And I also got to make myself a new set of armor. However, one of the other things I've learned is that the hydrophobic coatings on the Steam exosuit is worth its weight in emeralds. Even if the bouncing is a little bit annoying. Because I have also learned that you cannot swim in oil. It just doesn't work. You just slowly sink down. It's very upsetting and also a cause of drowning. I also have not yet recovered my cow backpack. You know, the one that lets me see in the dark. I'm afraid that it may have ceased to exist, which would upset me. But I'm hoping that once we suck up all this oil, I will find it just sitting there peacefully on the bottom. Actually looking for it under this oil is difficult because, well, it's dark down there. Well, sadly, it looks as if my old backpack is nowhere to be found. I suspect that the liquid washed it up like a torch, and then it later despawned. Sadly, there was just nothing I could do about getting to it any quicker, so that backpack and everything that was in it is gone. But fortunately, that does not include my chromic lexicon, or my arcane compendium. There's a lot of stuff that's not included with that, so that's good news. So yeah, I have lots of oil. And I just realized that I can do this with these tanks. I can empty them straight into the big tank like a bucket. So that's pretty cool. Also means that making this big tower of tanks was a waste of time. But that's okay. I can fix that later. And it'll be something to keep in mind the next time I go after a huge amount of some fluid. But at this point it does look like it's going to be a while before I need oil. So I have gotten everything from this trip that I wanted to. Most of all the oil, of course, and I got myself some mana beans, which I can grow more of now, since I have a magical forest area started. And also, I now have the schematics for a casting room, which means soon I will really be able to put this casting table to work. I'm really eager to do that, but I still have this list. We've got the tanks for oil, and we've got the fuel. The tree farm, well, that can wait till later. I have moved probably less than half the crafters. then I can do that behind camera. I still want to build a hall around the storage area and the crafting area. I still have some machines to move and some machines to set up. Then we'll be tearing down that big ugly giant black stump and building a cottage in its place. And then we can get back to making progress on the magical fronts. Both in Chromatocraft and Blood Magic, at the very least. So yeah, next episode, this thing has got to go. And then we can get started on its replacement. Until then, have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.